everybody. I'm going to give you a presentation on the 8 unique features of e-commerce. Well, to start with, I'm going to give you an overview of what e-commerce is all about, then talk about its 8 unique features a bit more in detail, and then we will go through the 3 different websites of 3 different organizations and see how these companies apply these 8 unique features, and we'll try to understand if they were successful or not. To start with e-commerce, right? To understand e-commerce, what is e-commerce? So it refers to buying and selling of goods and services online, right? And apart from that, we also do money transactions and information exchange electronically. Um, it's more of described as commercial transactions that happens on the internet. And we also know that it all evolved from the traditional practice of physically going to a store and then buying these goods and services physically. You get the feel of the product, you experience the product, you understand it from people. Basically they're from the sales, right? They try to explain, then you buy it based on the reviews and feedback given by the stores right there. But now with the help of e-commerce, you are able to sit anywhere, be it your home, be it in your car, be it anywhere. You can just use your phone or a laptop or a computer and browse as many products as possible, and then buy everything as per your convenience. Another important fact we need to consider, especially in the way the business was conducted traditionally, is that the consumers were trapped by geographical and social boundaries, and therefore it was difficult for them to buy products for the right price and quality. And therefore, this was an advantage for the merchants to sell the products at a higher price, and it was a benefit for them in terms of attaining more profit. And thanks to the technology that, because of which e-commerce makes it possible for merchants to know more about the customers based on their behavior, based on their likes, based on what they're frequently buying. And thanks to artificial intelligence, it's helping e-commerce to understand consumer behavior, and merchants are able to upgrade their websites based on the convenience of consumers, so that they can attract more consumers, increase their loyalty base, which is going to be beneficial for the company in terms of profit, market share, as well as sustainability. Now, before I give you an explanation of each and every feature of e-commerce, let's try to understand what there are. To start with, we have ubiquity, global reach, universal standards, richness, interactivity, information density, personalization, and social technology. Alright, now let's get down to understand each and every feature of e-commerce. Try to get a bit more in detail to get a clear picture of how these features play a significant role in e-commerce, and especially in the e-commerce websites, right? So let's start with ubiquity. Now, ubiquity is defined as something that occurs everywhere. And thanks to the internet, right, it has played a significant role in every area in the entire world. And we know that libraries, homes, businesses, people carry their mobile phones and they have access to the internet. And the best part is that internet is accessible everywhere and by everyone. And we will really get down to understand how internet has transformed the way the market has changed, and the way the businesses run, and the way e-commerce has established itself in today's generation. Now, we all know that in the traditional business practices, the marketplaces were smaller, which means that merchants could not reach to a lot of customers, and that was the same case or issue, I would say, for customers too, and they were limited to just walk by to a few limited stores to buy their products and services. And that's the transformation internet has brought, and that's the terminology I'm going to use, which is global reach, wherein today we can see that the internet is able to help merchants reach billions of people across the boundaries, nationally and internationally. So, universal standards. Well, it's another important feature. It's pretty easy to understand. Now, we all know that internet has its own universally accepted standards of how information is presented, and this provides a fair amount of equality for all businesses, which means that anyone can access information to enter into the market, and they can search for almost any information that they're looking for. For instance, if you want to know a price of a TV, and further, if you provide further information as to its specifications and the brand name and what size you're looking for, you are able to get that information right away. Now, businesses have understood that internet users get bored quickly if they have to read a lot of information on their websites. So, thanks to the advancement in technology, one more time, that businesses now are able to include a lot of creativity in the way they want to convey messages to their audience. So, a few examples are the way they advertise their products in terms of video advertisements, audio messages, or even interactive texts, right? And let's take a good example of Facebook. They're pretty much good at monitoring what we do when we log into our accounts and what we browse and what we look for. And based on that, they are able to understand our preferences and then post ads on our pages to make us pretty much want what we're looking for. Interactivity is one feature that makes customers feel valued, and this gives an opportunity for customers to interact with the merchants online if they have any issues in terms of the products, shipping, or billing. And another important feature about interactivity is that customers are able to rate products and provide feedback about their purchases, which creates a transparency or a visibility for others to review the feedback, review a product rating, and then purchase products or services based on their convenience and based on the trust of the information that is made available. Information density is another important feature, especially for the business owners. It gives them access to information about the competitors, manufacturers, delivery service information, price information, and all important information that can help them compare that with their own business and make changes accordingly. And this helps them in turn to cut costs in terms of information processing, storage, and communication. So this also speeds up a service and also provide excellent service to the customers. Now, personalization is the last but one feature, and again, it's gonna bring a significant value for customers. Where e-commerce businesses are not just providing exceptional services in terms of delivering products on time, but they're able to provide features to customers to make a product based on their own choice and needs. That's fantastic, isn't it? Let's take an example of a company by name Mission Bicycles. So they have a website wherein they allow customers to frame a bicycle on their own by choosing colors, various parts that's needed, like handlebars, seat style, chain pedals, etc., and then finally make the end product of the bicycle on their own and then book for it. And that's what makes a service not just exceptional but a perfect service in terms of our needs. The last and the very important feature is social technology. Now, social technology has played a very huge role in the success of e-commerce. Now, sites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, and many other social websites have contributed to e-commerce businesses at a significant level, which means that businesses are able to understand the interests, the needs, the likes of the customers through social websites and are able to target their customer bases accordingly. And all these social technologies are changing customer experience for the better, and this creates a fact that companies are now interested in not just maintaining a customer base, but to maintain a relationship, which is a long term relationship with the customers, and then are able to bring continuous changes based on the changes in behavior and likes of customers, which is brilliant. Now, this is the main part of the project, is to review websites of three different companies and understand how they've applied these 8 unique features and made their e-commerce website a success. And I have three different companies with me, and namely Reebok, Dell, and TJX Canada. So I'm going to start with showing you the first three features, that is ubiquity, global reach, universal standards. The reason why I'm going to start with these three first features is because they are related with each other. So the understanding is that the companies have to follow the universal standards. That's number three, and that is when they are able to reach to the audience through the internet, and that is when the ubiquity is applied, wherein they are able to make make this market available everywhere. Now we have learned that ubiquity means the market is accessible everywhere and by everyone. And upon reviewing the websites of Reebok, Winners, and Dell, I was able to use the internet and access their websites and was able to easily browse their products. That means that wherever there is internet access for anybody, they are able to open up the websites and are able to access their products, view their products, and make purchases accordingly. In terms of global reach, I've taken the screenshots of all the three companies, and as you can see, both Dell and Reebok are not just available in Canada, are not just reaching out to millions of people in Canada, but they are reaching out to all the people around the world. And I've got this drop down list for the Dell website, and as you can see, there's a list of countries they are able to reach out to and able to offer their products and services to millions of customers. And the same goes with Reebok. As you can see, they're not just available in Canada, but America, Africa, Asia, Europe, and other parts of the world. And in terms of TJX Winners, Winners being a Canadian company, they have thousands of stores located all around Canada. That's again a concept of global reach, where they are able to reach millions of people in the country. And that challenges the traditional way of how business used to work, wherein people were limited to walk to a store, search for the item that they're looking for, and it was definitely a challenge in terms of limited product availability, challenge in terms of prices, and that's the advantage internet and e-commerce has brought in, where it's favoring both the businesses as well as customers and transforming the world using the internet. Now, we have the screenshots of these websites and the scripts, the HTML scripts, which gives us an understanding that the companies have followed the internet standards, the universal standards, and that is why we are able to access their e-commerce websites and their products over the internet. In terms of richness, both Reebok and Dell have some really good graphic, high quality images, and also some really good videos conveying messages to customers and attracting them to buy their products. And Reebok particularly has images of people wearing their athletic wear, their footwear, their accessories, having the customers to feel and imagine what they would look like wearing their item. And that's a really good move in terms of ensuring customers are buying something from their website. And Dell too has some really good videos in terms of showcasing the design, the color, the specifications of all their products in terms of laptops, desktops, monitors, and other spare parts that they have, which is very informative. And in terms of winners, they have high quality images. And from the way I've looked at the website, I was able to understand that they are highly targeting women as customers. They have some really good informative images showcasing makeup products, jewelry, apparel, clothing, footwear, and home items as well. In this concept of interactivity, all the three websites are able to answer most of our questions by just browsing through them. They're able to give us information about the various products they have, the prices of their products, and further information such as delivery information, payment information, and if we have more questions about the return policies, the exchange policies, they have their FAQs on their websites, and we're able to get most of the information. And further, if we are not able to get the right information we're looking for, they have given us the option to contact them with via chat or via calling them through a phone number. That's to their customer service team, wherein you would obviously have a human interaction. But this is the ultimate goal of companies, to minimize the conversations between the customers and the business, and by answering most of the questions through their websites. And that's the best part of technology. Both Reebok and Dell have reduced information search regarding their products and their varieties, processing of the same information, and the communication cost. And due to this, they were able to increase the quality of search to fulfill the demand as required. They are able to discover customers' interest, and at the same time, these companies are able to offer the same product at a competitive price to the cost sensitive customers. And apparently, these companies are able to enhance their products in terms of quality, cost, and brand. I wouldn't say it would apply to winners as of now because they are not able to sell their products online. However, they've given some brief information about uh, the competitive prices that they have in terms of their products, and eventually customers have to walk to their stores to purchase the products. While talking about personalization, upon reviewing Reebok e-commerce website, the only option that they have in offering us is personalizing the t-shirts with the different logos that they have to offer. And apart from that, they do have an option of providing us with the various colors we would like to choose, but they don't really have much options in terms of personalization. But in case of Dell, Dell is one of the famous computer-based e-commerce websites that allows customers to personalize the items. And for instance, if you wanted to really buy a desktop, you can choose the kind of CPU that you're looking for, a monitor, a mouse, or a keyboard. And it's not just that, you can choose the right type of hard drive, space, processor, and memory. And that's the best part of Dell as a website, which allows customers to personalize the computers. And in terms of TJX, they don't really have anything apart from just showing us the information. Ultimately, we have to walk to these stores and try to select whatever items that they have, but they don't have an option of personalization. All of the three websites have their social technology logos right at the bottom. That means that they have their official pages on all the major social media platforms to promote their products. And therefore, in conclusion, I would like to say that both Reebok and Dell have utilized these features at the maximum to make them successful in the e-commerce industry. Although with some of the lacking, both Reebok and Dell are trying to serve the customers with a wide range of products and services at the most competitive prices. This project also concludes that these companies have presence in countries in various parts of the world and are able to deliver goods and provide services to customers in various countries. Moreover, both Reebok and Dell are using their above mentioned features to make their businesses successful and gaining customer loyalty as reward. The global presence of Reebok and Dell is creating a benchmark for the competitors in a way to serve customers at utmost satisfaction. One important feature that's personalization is something Reebok can still work on to provide more value and feel for the customers, like the way Dell does in terms of personalizing variety of their products. And I wanted to mention Winners separately because Winners is still not an e-commerce company. They still bank on their retail stores. However, they were able to fulfill the features of ubiquity, global reach, universal standards, interactivity a bit, I would say, information density to an extent, no personalization at all, and of course social technology then. For Winners especially, and TJX company as a whole, even though they are strong in their retail field, according to the magazine, one of the magazines that I've read, that they are planning to move into e-commerce. And we all understand that e-commerce is the trending form of business being carried nowadays by most of the businesses. We know that traditional commerce still exists, however, there is no reachability for the delivery of the goods and services to faraway places from the urban areas. And we also understand that e-commerce has reached most of the target audience now, as the products and services are available at lowest prices, creating a lot of competition amongst the businesses and favoring customers in a lot of ways. Businesses today are rapidly investing in e-commerce as it plays a significant role in terms of sustainability, market share, customer satisfaction, and loyalty and profitability. And finally, all 8 of these features contribute to the reason why e-commerce is the way of the future for all businesses. If you aren't online, you're not going to survive in the marketplace or the market space. E-commerce has significantly changed the way we do business and will continue to do so for generations to come.